Okay, we have some updates that we need to get done pronto. So last video, I did my art homework. My professor clearly told me to choose this one, but girl, I really don't care. Finally fucking done. He's not gonna like it. Oh my god, there was an explosion! God! I present to you my flower. And I wanted to update you guys on the grades that I got and the comments that he wrote on the things because, like, girl, he doesn't like me, I feel like, but it's whatever, girl. So first of all, I was correct. He wrote that this one would have been the best. So I was like, okay, girl. Okay, so first and foremost, for this one, he gave me a 4 out of 5. He said that this one needs more texture. These two aren't quite texture yet, which I was like, girl, what? Like, this is literally, like, I feel like that is the most textured one out of this whole thing. So then we get to the things that I did last video, and all he wrote was that this one could have been better. But, like, he didn't particularly criticize like what I did, but he did have like a couple of comments for this one. He had a lot to say. So first of all, he said that there is more contrast needed on this part up top, which I guess I understand. Like, if you kind of unfocus your eyes, it does kind of blend in together. But I kind of thought that was like the point for like the hatching altogether. He said use a ruler, which I agree with. Like, I should have used a ruler, but like I don't have a see-through ruler, so there was no way that I was gonna be able to like know how far to go with the lines, if you see, like, so I just kind of had to say fuck it, like whatever. And then he said for the boxes, he would have liked a uniform direction better, which like that, I'm just gonna chalk that one up to the game, like, and say that's a subjective opinion because I like all the different directions. So like, that's just your opinion, sir. Then he said sign, and it's like, did you not like just turn the thing over to see my name on the thing? Like, and then it's so crazy because like we have these daily sketches that we have to do too, and like I wrote my name on it, and like it was so crazy because mine was the only one that he like was like flipping through all the pages, like find my name, and I like my name is right there. But like I get that it's in pencil, but like you didn't just like open I'm not trying to say he like just hates me for no reason, but like, girl, like, I don't know. The directions were to spend 3 minutes a day on a sketch, period. Another criteria was that it had to be from life, but I just be like putting my imagination in everything. So I did some drawings not from life. So I made more than the 25 that we were supposed to have to compensate for the fact that some of them were from my imagination. So there's my name just right there if you open the book. He didn't like when I did 2 things on the same page, not from 2D. I said, girl, shadowy reflection on the desktop, like it's not from 2D. Thank you. And then he was like, oh, that's why you wrote that. No, I actually just wrote that for fun. Like, what do you mean? Like, I wrote mouse. I wrote the name of everything. If I did 2 little things on the same page, I wrote the date that I did it so that you can know that I did them on different days. He didn't like that. And then he kept saying like, okay, well, at least like draw a line like to divide them. And then I was like, but then on this one, when I drew the line, you had a problem with it. So like, which one is it? Like, for instance, this one doesn't count. Obviously it's from my imagination. But why doesn't this one, like why, like he like had a problem. He was like, ugh, like he kept like trying to not like give me credit for the fucking work. And then he didn't like this, like he was like, so we were counting them. For instance, when we reached this one, he was like, 15, like what? If you just like use your eyes, like how you an art teacher can't see. Like this one he hated. He was like, ugh, like bruh, okay, but they're 3 different drawings. He tried to count this as like 2 because he was like, yeah, like I just don't like that like they're like all on the same page. I don't know, I feel like there's something about me. I definitely don't appreciate like all of that. It is really irritating. I can't tell if I'm having trouble taking criticism or if it's really like a problem, but it just doesn't seem like there's this friction like with anyone else. And you know what? Maybe he's like this to everyone and I'm the only one who speaks up for myself. That could also be the case. So this is my current sketchbook. Really what drove me to even like go back to school in the first place was I was drawing in my sketchbook and I was just not satisfied. This to me is just so random and I just felt so uninspired. Like this is cool, but you guys literally have seen this exact same format of painting so many times in my other vlogs. I just felt like it just wasn't giving. I just was trapped in like a creative rut and I needed something to drive me out of it. And so I like signed up for this class. This was like the first thing that I drew since my class started. So I was like drawing in my sketchbook for class and I drew this on Valentine's Day and I really had fun drawing this house. Like it was this house at the end of my street. Like I just loved everything about it. So I was like, ooh, let me like, I literally sat there across the street from this and drew this. I didn't paint it just like in public like that, but I did sit there and draw this. I sat on a fire hydrant and I drew the 3 houses. And then I did this. This one I like way better. It's of this picture. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I think this is so sick. I just love all the lines. I'm getting obsessed with lines because of this class. Despite everything, I really do really like this class and I think that like the lesson plans are really good and I really think it's like helping me improve as an artist. I feel like this is so much better than anything else I've done in this sketchbook. Like everything in this particular sketchbook just was so boring up until recently. Yeah, like the lines, I love how like I just kind of did one, I don't even remember what the vocab word is. There was this quiz we had to do, I got a fucking C. I was like, girl, because I just didn't remember. And like honestly, like it's fine. I have like this world inside of my head. I show you guys the sketches, but I never tell you guys the stories behind them. This is me. This is Camie. And Camie's story, like I don't have like particular like powers for Camie. He lives in a horror story. So like he just is like in these like horrific situations. A big motif in my art is like the bloody eyes. I just really love the bloody eyes. Like, but then there's Ola. You guys have seen her a million times before. This is a better picture of her. She is the daughter of Ares. She is the god of war, or maybe a god of war. Like I haven't decided because like where's Ares? I haven't conceptualized what he looks like at all, nor do I know if I ever will, because like I really don't think that's that important. Like her story is about her and she is definitely my favorite. I draw her all the time and I drew her right there too. And her story is more like action packed, like combat vibes. I give her this like power where she can summon a little fairy. It's like either a fairy slot machine or like fairy dice. But anyway, it's kind of like Kite from Hunter x Hunter. She can summon different weapons. From Jujutsu Kaisen, like how they have like those things that can summon like arsenals of weapons. Like I loved that concept for her. And I'm not gonna like talk too much about like, you know, the ins and outs of anything because ideally I would make these characters into a comic book and I would explain it all there. In this form, with her hair ploofy like this, she's definitely more of like a raid boss, like brawler type. But then something happens to her and we see her in this form with her hair kind of straighter and her eyes are also different, if you can see. And this is Princess. She was a very old OC that I came up with back when I was like literally a child. I've always had these characters in my mind, but I never had like a medium for expressing them. So I used to play with Legos and like Princess was a Lego character. Not a real Lego character, like I just had a character and it was like blonde like that. And I was like, oh, her name is Princess. And I just like made a whole story for her. And so she's like been with me since the beginning for real. And so has Ola. I came up with Ola like late teen years and Princess was probably like childhood, like 9-10 years old. And there was other OCs too, but I just lost inspiration for them. And Princess and Ola are really the only ones who like made it through. Yeah, she is Ola's sister. I also drew these fish, but then I just had the inspiration for Princess, and so I just drew over the fish. I love the like busy look. Like, see, he doesn't like the multiple things on pages, and oh my god, and he was like, yeah, it's clear that took like less than a minute to draw. Okay, but you never said that we couldn't take less than a minute. You just said don't spend longer than 3 minutes. So like what are you doing? Like, anyway, I love multiple things on the same page. I think it looks sick. If you see her fluffy hair, they both have fluffy hair. They both have the bushy eyebrows. She's buff. She's definitely like brawler vibes. When I think of Princess, I think of Vi from League of Legends. I think of like Noi from Dorohedoro. Like, I just think of a bitch who could really like fucking like fuck some shit up. Bisky from Hunter x Hunter. Like, just a buff bitch, like a big bitch. I love like expressions of sexuality like this. Anyway, I've always loved mini skirts on girls, and I've always loved crop tops for myself. I don't like mini skirts on myself, to be honest. I like it more on like a feminine physique, so I gave her mini skirts in like every outfit, because period, bitch, like, be a bad bitch. Like, and I love showing her panties. It's crazy because I did this back in fucking 2022, and this was before Deli by Ice Spice came out, and I love Ice Spice. She's one of my favorite artists, and her fucking line is, she a baddie, she's showing her panty. She's a baddie, she's showing her panties. Like, period, like a baddie. And it's crazy that like bad bitches just link up in that way. And last but not least, this one, I mean, I made it look wonky like this on purpose. Like, I didn't want to think too hard about it. I just wanted to draw me and Ola sitting on a bench. She's showing her panties. She's in these cute, maybe like Rick Owens boots was the inspiration. I was thinking like JT from City Girls in her Rick boots type vibe. I wanted to show you my homework that's due tomorrow. So the premise is we have to take a 6x6 black box and make shapes with it, like cut out shapes with it, and then fill up the space on a white paper. Not gonna lie, he really doesn't like tell us like what his criteria really is. Like, he tells us what to do, but then like he'll be like unhappy about things, or like he'll like not like certain things, but it's like, oh, you didn't really like make it clear that you didn't want us to do that. Whoa, that was intense. But I feel like intensity is kind of the cost of happiness. When you involve yourself in one scenario, that's like 3 scenarios in one. And everybody has their own path. So you never really know what everyone's going through. Thanks for watching today's video, you guys. If you enjoyed those words of wisdom, all I have to say, like, to end this off is love yourself. Never try to change yourself. Never try to change your appearance. Just roll with your natural appearance and do what you naturally look like, because there's nothing lamer than using a filter, getting surgeries, getting fillers, like wearing colored contacts when that's like not your eye color. Very weird to me, but that's just me. If that's what you like to do, go do that. I'm natural.